movie opens with Nick, a Western man who is currently serving time in a Japanese prison. He's seen scrubbing the bathroom floor when two heavily tattooed inmates exit. Suddenly, a commotion breaks out. Another prisoner has attempted suicide. Nick rushes over and manages to save the man from dying. Instead of being praised, he is beaten by the prison guards for getting involved in someone else's affairs. They sternly warn him to mind his own business in the future. As punishment, Nick is placed in isolation with the man he saved. Though they can't communicate verbally due to a language barrier, they begin to understand each other through eye contact and shared silence. The man turns out to be Kiyoshi, a prospective leader within the Yakuza. He shares his plan with Nick. He's been injuring himself to get transferred to a hospital outside the prison, where he hopes to escape. He asks Nick to ensure he doesn't die in the process. The plan works. Kiyoshi is taken away and never returns. Years later, Nick is released from prison. He is met by one of Kiyoshi's men, who takes him to Osaka, where Kiyoshi is now a powerful Yakuza leader. The Shiromatsu clan, Kiyoshi's family, welcomes Nick warmly, offering him a place to stay, money, and even a job. His role involves negotiating with Western businessmen. Despite having no experience, Nick handles the job well due to his natural confidence. However, problems arise when American businessman Anthony Panetti refuses to deal with the Shiromatsu and instead aligns with their rivals, the Seiza clan, who also sent an American representative. When Nick meets Panetti to convince him otherwise, the encounter quickly turns violent. Nick bashes Panetti's head with a typewriter, shocking everyone but earning the Shiromatsu's respect. Tensions escalate when members of the Seiza family confront and threaten the Shiromatsu, claiming control over the area. The Seiza leader mocks both Kiyoshi and Nick, which triggers Nick to attack him. Despite the outburst, both sides agree to hold off on any violence for the time being. Kiyoshi continues to support Nick, gifting him a luxurious apartment, a new suit, and deeper insight into how the Yakuza operates. During a visit to a gambling den, Kiyoshi confronts a disrespectful local boss. When the boss mocks Nick for being an American, Nick retaliates, and Kiyoshi finishes the job. Later, Kiyoshi's brother, Orochi, questions Kiyoshi's trust in Nick and urges him to sever ties. Kiyoshi refuses, citing Nick's loyalty and past help. Nick soon learns about Yakuza customs when he notices Orochi's missing fingers. Kiyoshi explains that if a Yakuza member dishonors the family, they must cut off their fingers as an apology. That night, Kiyoshi discovers his sister, Mio, partying at a club and drunkenly dancing. He asks Nick to take her home. Over time, Mio and Nick grow closer, eventually becoming romantically involved. Nick even gets a traditional Irizumi tattoo, further solidifying his integration into the clan. As the Shiromatsu face mounting pressure from rival groups and the challenges of a shifting post-war economy, Nick is sent to oversee a weapons deal at the harbor. However, it's a setup. The Seizu already know about the transaction and ambush him. Nick narrowly escapes, killing two attackers. The Shiromatsu patriarch is furious. Such a move risks sparking an all-out war. Suspicion grows that someone within the family leaked information to the Seizu. To prevent escalation, Kiyoshi and Nick both perform yubitsum, cutting off parts of their fingers and sending them to the Seizu as a peace offering. The Seizu accept it, and the Shiromatsu are temporarily spared from further conflict. Nick earns even more respect and is formally inducted into the Yakuza through a traditional ceremony at a countryside temple. He becomes a full member of the Shiromatsu clan, complete with a full-body tattoo and warm acceptance by the others. Following the initiation, Kiyoshi tells Nick he knows about his relationship with Mio. He warns Nick of the dangers she might face by being involved with someone in their world. Nick, however, expresses his love for her and insists he can protect her. During a sumo match, both Yakuza families meet. The Seiza patriarch offers to absorb the Shiromatsu to avoid bloodshed, but the offer is rejected. Later, Nick runs into a fellow American Marine named Paulie, who reveals that Nick, his former captain, was once marked for a court-martial and presumed dead. Paulie tries to blackmail Nick, but Nick turns the tables and kills him. Returning to Mio, Nick finds her crying. She reveals that Orochi assaulted her after she rejected his advances and that she is now pregnant. Nick wants revenge, but Mio pleads with him not to act rashly. Guilt-ridden, Nick confesses everything to Kiyoshi and offers to cut off all his fingers in apology. Kiyoshi forgives him and makes him promise to protect Mio, then gives him his car. Later, while shopping for suits, Nick senses something is wrong. He checks on the patriarch and discovers an assassin. He and Kiyoshi manage to save him, but during their escape, Kiyoshi is fatally shot in the neck. Nick holds him as he dies, devastating the entire family. In an emergency gathering, the clan debates the possibility of a traitor. Some suspect Orochi of leaking their operations, both during Nick's ambush and the most recent assassination. The leader, however, refuses to condemn Orochi without hard proof. Meanwhile, Mio, heartbroken by her brother's death, clings to Nick and begs him to stay safe. As the Shiromatsu regroup, they begin striking back at the Shizu, targeting their associates in a calculated underground campaign. Nick leads these retaliations. Things seem to be going in their favor until the Shizu leader invites the Shiromatsu to a meeting at the port. Expecting a negotiation, the Shiromatsu arrive in good faith. But instead of peace, Orochi, now with the Shizu, steps forward. The Shiromatsu leader embraces him, only to be stabbed in the back. Armed Shizu gunmen surround the clan, gunning down several members. Nick tries to fight back but is shot in the leg and left helpless. The Shizu leave, having eliminated their rival's leadership. The betrayal continues as corrupt police begin raiding and destroying Shiromatsu businesses, burning down their club and further crippling the organization. Nick, unable to accept defeat, decides to take matters into his own hands. He infiltrates the Shizu compound alone, demanding to face Orochi. Armed with Kiyoshi's sword, he challenges him. Orochi mocks Nick, calling him an outsider who will never truly be Yakuza. When Orochi tries to hand back the sword, Nick suddenly slashes his throat, killing him. The Shizu patriarch, acknowledging Nick's vengeance, allows him to leave. Nick escapes to a hidden apartment where Mio is being protected by the few remaining loyal Shiromatsu members. As he embraces her, the remaining Yakuza bow to him with respect.